Hi, everyone. This is Faith Howard Mooney from the Mortgage Collaborative, and I'm super lucky today to have with me Ryan Wiebe, who is the president and CEO of First Mortgage Direct. Nice to have you join us, Ryan.
Thanks, Faith. It's my pleasure.
We are going to talk a little bit about you and First Mortgage Direct. It looks like you guys joined, which it just doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but I think we lost like a year somewhere in there in July of 2017.
Right.
I like to do a little bit of research before I get on it. It looks like you guys last year were ranked number 5 in Kansas City as rapidly fastest growing company. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's number 5 fastest growing company out of all companies, not just the mortgage side of things. Some stiff competition out there.
That's pretty stellar for that size of a market. So congrats.
Thank you.
It started this morning. Just talk a little bit about your time spent working. So first question is, what was your first job ever?
First job ever, sacking groceries at Price Chopper at the local grocery store. Yep. I was, I think 15 and a half. That's right. Yeah, 15 and a half. When I got my learner's permit, so I could drive actually to the grocery store to work.
And the motivation was probably as much for the drive to the grocery store to work as to work at the grocery store, I would imagine at that point.
Pretty much, yeah. And to pay for that cool 1992 Chevy S10 that I had that I drove. So that was the motivation.
That is not so bad. That's a pretty good first gig, actually.
Yeah.
So share with us how you got into the mortgage space. People come in many different matters. It's not usually planned, we found. And then how long you've been in?
Yeah, sure. It's a really, for me, I think it's a pretty cool story, but dumb luck, fell right into it. You know, you have those college roommates that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't trust or believe that guy. He's just full of it. No, but a very close and dear friend of mine that was a college roommate. He happened to be in the mortgage business when I was at Enterprise Rent-A-Car and moved down to Las Vegas, Nevada in 2005.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that was a fun time.
Boom town there.
Boom town for sure.
Yeah.
And he called me up and said, Wiebe, you're built for the mortgage space. You need to get down here as quick as possible. And within, 24, 30, call it 48 hours, I had an interview. And 2 weeks later, I had packed up my sedan and had driven to Las Vegas with everything, all my possessions at 25 years old. And here I am today, 41, and still in the mortgage business. So if you can do the math, that'll tell you how long I've been in the space.
That's a fantastic story. That's kind of a fun story, actually. Not everybody has that good of a one, but you at least have one college roommate that you can obviously trust, because I think he was right. You found your right spot.
Yeah, and you know what's even more interesting about that, Faith, is then 2 other roommates joined me, and we conned the third one in, or us being the 3 of the roommates, the third one in after John and I had moved from Kansas City and St. Louis and loaded up our cars and drove down. And then we got Jamie involved, and while he was down there too on a trip to see us. So we ended up having 4 roommates from college all under the same place again 2 years after we left school. So it was Las Vegas for 25 and 26-year-old guys. Wow. It was
in a boom
fun.
Market.
That's in a boom market. Yeah. It was pretty interesting.
So share with us, going back to that beginning part of your career in mortgage, is there one thing that you wish you would have known then that just seems so obvious to you now, you just wish somebody would have told you?
Yeah, I mean, interesting. I think it's interesting again is when you're young, you're very naive, right? And so also being in Las Vegas, if you remember The Big Short, and that movie kind of lived that to a certain extent. I really wish that there would have been more training and more knowledge about the subprime market, what we were actually doing. And so I'm a original product of subprime unbeknownst to me. And I think that maybe there's some regret. I don't know that there's not any guilt by any means, because we didn't really do any of the 228s with the 3-year prepaid penalty and all those good things. But I think a little more knowledge at that time. It was every Tom, Dick, and Harry could get a job in the business, and there were some bad players, and you saw them around. But I think that was one of the ones. The hindsight being 2020, you saw things happen after the fact, and then they're just so like starking real. Like, oh my gosh, how did I not see this coming? And then you feel, The Big Short just really displayed that, quite frankly. And I wish I would have known a little bit more then what I know now.
Yeah, so I've been in a little bit longer than you have. But I worked on the appraisal side of things back then, and my main clients were doing QC for subprime lenders. And I think I had 9 in one building in Irvine, California, go out of business all in 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
The really good thing is they didn't owe us any money. So,
Right.
so we ended up okay. But yeah, that was a crazy time period right before that 2007, 2008 hit for sure.
Yeah.
So kind of a loaded question, because obviously I know where you live and I know where you've been from, but you got a team still left in the Super Bowl race?
We do. We still got them good old Kansas City Chiefs. And I don't know, based on this is being recorded, that was last night. We put it to the Steelers. Yeah, that first quarter was a little hairy, but and I was at the ball game. It was a great game.
Oh, you were. How cool. That's very fun.
So we'll see next week against the Bills. But we still got a Super Bowl team, and our boy Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, who is the only player in the NFL history to throw a touchdown pass, catch a touchdown pass, and have 100 yards receiving in the same game.
Right. I did not know that. I'm not up on my stats, but having grown up in Iowa, either you went to Minnesota or you went south, one or the other. So I ended up living in Minnesota. So unfortunately, I don't have a team in the game anymore, but my mom is like a diehard fan. So got to go with my mom. And I guess you.
There we go. Got to go to the Chiefs. Chiefs all the way.
Fantastic. It was really great talking with you this morning.
Likewise, Faith. Thank you.
Being involved. You've been just a great advocate for us and involved in a lot of different things, and we truly appreciate that.
Oh, I love the Mortgage Collaborative. They're great. You guys are great. You do a lot for us and for the industry. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you.